Gordon Parks, in this image, he does a good job at humanizing Red Jackson, uh, and highlights more of his traits about loving his family. As you can see in the picture, uh, it's his mother and his brother, and he's more humanized by Gordon Park, especially when with the lighting that is pointed towards the left and not his face. You can see that he's smiling in this photo, and he's very humanized in this photo. In this image, you can see that Red Jackson is grooming himself. He's brushing his hair, looking into the mirror, and it helps humanizes him, make us empathize uh, with Red Jackson, because just like anyone else, we groom ourselves. We like to present ourselves nicely, and it helps humanize Gordon Parks, and that he's not just a gang leader. He's a person that wants to present himself very well, uh, and it helps humanizes him because it helps the viewer relate to him on a more personal level. In this image, Red Jackson is attending a funeral, and it shows that he's kind because it shows that he's showing respect to this person. It shows a lot of emotion because it seems like he and the person next to him are quite saddened by this person's death, uh, and it helps the viewer relate to him because it connects us on a more personal level that he's just a person. He's not just a gang leader. This image shows that Red Jackson is a kind person because um, he's shown to be holding a baby, and he seems to be talking to other people, and it seems like he's talking and connecting with this community. Um, in this photo, it shows that Red Jackson is cycling through a street that is covered in water. It looks like a lot of the children in the water are playing in it. This looks like the center of Harlem too, and it shows that Red Jackson is kind because he's connecting with his community. Um, it looks like he likes to spend a lot of time with the children of his community, as we saw in the last image. This image shows that Red Jackson is violent because it shows that two people are fighting each other, and the two people in the back aren't doing anything. Uh, a lot of people can interpret it as that Red Jackson was festering a violent community, and it shows that he himself might be violent. Um, since Red Jackson was a gang leader, it shows that a lot of the violence in this might be because of him, and it shows that because of that he might be a violent person. In this image, you can see the Harlem rooftops. They seem to be on fire because Red Jackson was the gang leader of the Midtowners. It shows that he might have had an influence on these fires, and a lot of people might interpret it that uh, Red Jackson is a violent person because he's the one that caused these fires, or he uh, festered a lot of violence in his community. This image shows a gang member doing graffiti, and it shows lack of control by Red Jackson, which the viewer might interpret the lack of control to lead to more violence. Um, so this might show that Red Jackson might be violent. This image looks like a group of people dealing with something. Uh, it's very hard to tell what's happening, but it might be the dealing of illegal substances. Might be a fight that could be happening, but it still shows like lack of control by in Red Jackson's Midtowners community, and lack of control in Harlem. Um, so it might show that Red Jackson was a violent person. This image looks very similar to the image of Red Jackson on a bicycle, and the community seems to be enjoying the the spilled water. But over here, it might show people might interpret this as some violence might have happened, uh, and a fire hydrant might have broken during some gang violence. So it's very interesting to see two different perspectives and how two different perspectives might how these two different perspectives might show that uh, that Red Jackson's community might be both violent and also a good community.